Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the cottage and another edition of Auntie Karen Beyond the Cards. Today, we are going to talk about love spells, whether they be for a specific person or just to manifest love in general or self-love. And then we are also going to talk about those that are geared to manifest a specific person. So this can be love spells or it can come from a place of manifestation. Basically, what this is going to be is informational to know what to expect, and I will leave the decision of whether to do a love spell or manifest in your court. But what I hope to do today is to help you to understand what to expect if you go down this path. Okay, first of all, let me say this. There are three different areas that I'm going to cover. One is when we do a love spell and or manifest toward a specific individual. John Doe, Bobby Sue, right? Okay. The second area is going to be for manifesting new love options in general. Okay. The third will be in trying to manifest your life partner. So we're going to cover three different areas and what to expect when we cast. Let me say this. Okay. First of all, either the work will work or it won't work. Okay, so let's assume for purposes of this discussion that your manifestation and or spell works. Okay, let me make one thing clear. One thing I will say is this. I know and believe in the power of magic and manifestation. I have seen it way too often and consistently in my own individual path. In my opinion, manifestation and magic are basically one and the same. Okay, it all involves the tapping into divine energy. Okay, it's just done in different ways, but it all involves intent, belief, and action. So, with that being said, let's move on and delve into the various types of ways to manifest. And let's first talk about manifesting a specific individual, like a certain individual by name. Jane Doe, John Doe, right? Examples could include you're trying to have an ex return or a return of a lost love. You try to manifest for a person to finally commit to you or to commit to bumping up to the next level. You can also, do things that involve strengthening or healing a current connection. Those are things that involve specific individuals and free will. Okay, so understand this. You may be trying to manifest a person that isn't for your highest good. That being said, the magic will be heard, regardless of whether this person is for your highest good. Now, understand this. If you violate a person's free will, and I can give you so many examples of, I know a lot of people who have done this. I do not know a good outcome ever. Ever. I do know that more often than not, the practitioners that I know that have done this have had results. So the spell did work, but the things you need to understand are this. Now, there are certain words I'm not going to say here on YouTube because I do not want to get flagged. But when you do this, a lot of things can happen. I have seen love spells result in sexual assault, obsessive stalking to the point of being dangerous. Okay. I have seen situations where people came together, but there was so much underlying unexplainable, seemingly, resentment and friction because what you've done, in essence, is you violated a person's free will. Okay? So, those are things you need to be aware of. Now, I have a specific interesting story. There are some very, very powerful forms of magic, depending on people's path, okay? I have a very, very close friend. Many of you know him. He is a mod on my channel, and he is my Virgo bestie. Back in the day, his path was a lot different than it is now. And among many other things, one of the things that he did, he cast a love spell 18 years ago. there are some types of magic that even the practitioner themselves cannot undo, and he has tried. 18 years later, the girl still chases him. She is now well aware that she is under the influence of a very powerful love spell, but she cannot help herself, and it drives her crazy. She is miserable, and he doesn't really care for it either. But, to give you some idea, this particular individual that I'm referring to had a tower moment that lasted well over 12 years. And, we talk about tower moments a lot, okay? Divine intervention for our highest good. And as bad a towers as I have seen in my own life, and in talking to a lot of you folks, we've all had our towers. I've never seen any tower to compare to the tower that this individual experienced, okay? So, if you, want to go down that path, just understand that there are some very rough situations, okay? I know of another story. A practitioner cast a love spell on a coworker that she was, interested in. The coworker became obsessed with her. He brushed up against her in an inappropriate way at work. It ended up being something that offended her so badly. I mean, it was not just a brush up. I mean, he copped a feel. Okay, let's just call it what it is. At work. And she filed a sexual harassment suit against him, and he was fired. Now, in my opinion, she was culpable in that. But try proving that. Of course, the guy has yet to know. Now, women aren't the only ones to cast love spells, but these are just some of the experiences that I know about. My Virgo bestie is a male, and the woman that he cast the love spell on 18 years ago is a female, so it can go either way. But if we do a love spell, say, let's go back to the issue of to heal or strengthen a current connection, and what will happen there. Well, the universe will bring about every trigger and every unhealed wound to the surface, so things will get a lot worse before they get better, because it will bring about situations where you mirror each other and you mirror the ugly parts, because that's what needs to be healed. And the only way to heal it is to know about it, right? There are things in your shadow. By definition, the shadow self is the subconscious. We don't know about those things, and these situations come about to mirror that. So the results can be extremely unpleasant and can actually bring about a tower or a breakup, whenever the actual intent was the opposite. But the divine has to heal those things, because that's what we asked for, right? So the divine is actually honoring our request, but it puts everything under a microscope, and it brings things to a new level of intensity. So let's talk about what to expect if we do a love spell to manifest new love in general. Okay, so if it works, we use the law of attraction, right? You will begin to attract people who are vibrationally aligned with exactly where you are. So if you have any unhealed wounds in your shadow, which you will be unaware of, what will happen is you will bring people to mirror those things to you, and will bring out the ugliest in you that you didn't know you had. And it will seem like it's got a magnifying glass up to it. For example, if you have self-esteem issues that are in your shadow, you will attract someone who criticizes everything that you say and everything you do. Somebody who's condescending, non-committal. If you have abandonment fears, you'll attract somebody that's probably going to ghost you or dump you with little to no expectation. If you have, issues with cheating, loneliness, you'll attract somebody who's lonely. Okay, and if you attract somebody, if you're lonely and you don't like being alone, you'll attract somebody else who's lonely, and then you'll both feel lonely together. Still miserable, right? So that's what happens when you try to, manifest just general love options. Now, if you try to manifest your life partner, let's talk about the third area that we were going to cover today. If it works, okay, and you have not done a lot of work on your shadow, okay, the universe, understand this, in order to have a viable long-term life partner, we must have a pretty good handle on our shadow self. And if we don't, then we have to get that in order before our life partner can come in. So if we start calling in our life partner, what we are actually calling in is everything needed to prepare ourselves for that life partner, and it puts it on speed dial, right? And it puts it, exponentially more intense. So the universe will bring about every situation to show you unhealed wounds, because you have to clean that stuff up before you can have a successful romantic long-term connection. It puts your triggers on steroids, okay? Triggers are resultant from things being in your shadow that are unhealed. Triggers are actually our friends because it's our shadow self screaming out, hey, I need help and I need your attention, okay? It will provoke your anger in ways that will bring about emotional outbursts if you have things that you have not worked through, emotions from childhood trauma all the way up through romance, friendships that go bad, any kind of painful experiences, okay? Your patience will be tried. It holds a magnifying mirror up to show you everything that needs to be healed so that you can have the successful long-term relationship. And then after you go through that long-term spiritual fitness plan, as I call it, then when you're prepared, you will have your life partner. So it's not that it doesn't work. It just works in your best interest. And everything that we ask for, we get. It's just be careful what you ask for, right? So in summary, there are no shortcuts to doing the work, the shadow work, okay? The divine will insist on the work is done. Love and manifestation spells are a mechanism that is going to intensify and speed up the healing process. Healing is messy and painful and intense on any timeline. If you feel like you want to ramp up your healing, you can certainly just do a spell to ramp that up without this other stuff in it, okay? But be ready. You know, if you do these types of spells, be ready to be taken to rock bottom and have towers. If you cast these types of spells and you haven't done a crap ton of shadow work, there is just no shortcut. There's just not, okay? You can do what you want. You can make your decisions how you want to, certainly, based on, you know, what I say and what other people say. Now, I will share with you my personal choice. I have decided to put my time clock in the hands of the divine. I believe that the divine will give me exactly what I need when I need it. And to be honest, you know, my life in and of itself is, you know, just the situation is, you know, my own ascension and healing has been super fast anyway, particularly since I started this channel. You know, I do have 100% faith in my ability to cast a successful spell of any sort. I've seen it 100% of the time. So I know that I would have results if I were to cast any type of spell like what we just talked about, okay? I know that. But I also know what the results would be. And you have to be prepared. So it's kind of like goes in the category of you can do this if you want to, just be careful what you wish for and walk into it with being fully informed, okay? So, you know, it's just up to you. It's a call that everybody has to make for themselves, okay? Some people learn one way and some people learn another, and that's okay. You know, I can't fault anyone for whatever decision they make, because if you decide to go down this path, what that probably says is there are things you're going to learn by doing that are going to help you later in life, okay? So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Like and share and subscribe. And you guys know me from my other channel, most of you, Enchanted Cottage 333, where I do tarot readings and that sort of thing. I do romance readings a lot, but I also do money readings for personal folks a lot as well. So with that being said, everything you need to know about that and getting to my website to book a personal reading is also down below. Okay? Thank you so much. I wish you so much love, healing, and light and abundance in every area.